What up, watch peeps? I talk about specific watches so much that I don't want to neglect the unsung heroes here, straps. Now, I've done videos on straps before, but there's so many out there, it's worth revisiting every once in a while. Straps play a significant role in dressing up your watch and making it feel new again. One of my favorite strap vendors is Uncle Seiko. Now, this video is not sponsored or anything, but I have a bunch of his straps and bracelets here that I bought myself, so let's take a look. I'm Pete, and we are Chillin' with Watches. So let's talk Uncle Seiko straps. I am still wearing my CWC, Royal Navy Diver, SBS. But yeah, let's talk about Uncle Seiko straps. And you know, he does straps and bracelets. But let's look at the rubber straps first. You know, he does original straps like this, and he does a lot of recreation straps like the the one no longer in production GL831 waffle straps. He also does like the chocolate bar, the tire tread. But these are two of my favorites, and I think they really take something like a turtle, which is, you know, a reissue of a vintage watch, and give it an amazing vintage feel. So yeah, definitely a favorite look of mine, and this was my first Uncle Seiko rubber strap, and I really love the rubber he uses. Now these are 22s, and they taper down to 20. And the nice thing about all Uncle Seiko straps is they take Fat Boy spring bars. So you'll still be able to use those big, thick, nice spring bars with them. And most are available in short or long length, and you can pick whether you want one or two keepers available with them. But I really love the way the waffle looks on the turtle. And then one of his original straps, this is a fitted waffle made for the SKX. Basically the same thing though, 22 to 20, two keepers, two lengths. And I think here you can see the difference because one of these is shorter and one is longer. It's not much of a difference, but you do get a few extra holes. This was actually a strap I had sold on another watch and I needed it back in my collection, so I had recently just repurchased another one. But let's take a look at these GL831s, which these are a lot of people's favorites, and they also look awesome on a turtle. Now here on this strap, I think this actually recreates the strap these originally came with. The original turtles, I believe, was like this flat vent. It's a very nice look. On wrist, and on wrist you'll see, obviously it looks great. The buckle keepers are very similar to what you find on the Seiko OEM straps. Let's try switching it up to the olive. This is one he just recently reissued, OD Olive Drab GL831. And these are actually defect straps, and the only defect I can find is that this part is maybe not quite 22, and you can see the tiniest sliver of spring bar, but you're able to get them at about 15 bucks off if they're still available. So let me put it on the watch and show you what I'm talking about. So here it is on the OD green version of the flat vent strap. And like I said, he sold this as a defect because you could see the spring bar, but you really have to force it to be able to see any spring bar in there. So I am pretty much fine with these. Now these are also the straps that came on the original Arnie's as well as the original Turtles. And here's a modern Seiko recreation of the flat vent that comes on a modern Arnie for comparison's sake. These things are huge, by the way. You could fit this around a gorilla's arm. See that on wrist? So, I don't know. Green straps might be my favorite. I really love the way this one looks. And speaking of colors, these waffles, these actually come in a bunch of different colors besides black. I think there's blue, orange, tan, at least. So that's pretty cool. You can have a lot of fun with that. Speaking of which, this might actually look pretty cool on the Arnie that came with this. So let's take a look at that. Oh yeah, that looks really good. I mean, you can see it obviously looked great with the tan. It brings out the khaki and the indices and all. But with that OD, it just darkens the whole thing up a little bit. I really like that. I mean, playing around, changing up these great straps in these great colors can really give one watch a bunch of different looks, right? The fitted waffle is a little bit of a hybrid, right? Of like modern and vintage looks combined together. I really dig it. But let's talk about Uncle Seiko bracelets for a minute. So one of the ones I recently shown you was this Jubilee that is made specifically for these Seiko 5 40mm smooth bezel watches. And all his bracelets, well, I shouldn't say all. Most of his bracelets are hollow end links. He does have a few solid end links or solid end link options for bracelets that also come with hollow. But most of them have a great 4mm taper, and they're almost all female end links. You don't get that protruding mid link on any of his, and that's usually a thing that comes along with hollow end links, which I'm perfectly fine with hollow end links. I think they're a little more forgiving, and it leads to another thing that you'll find with a lot of Uncle Seiko bracelets is that they're compatible with more than just the watch they were originally designed for. So all his bracelets are, most of his bracelets are push pins, which is simple, and I've never had a problem with any of those coming apart. I'm perfectly fine with that simple basic construction. This one, 20 down to 16mm taper. The clasps, again, are all pretty basic, simple construction. You're getting a pressed out clasp. I don't know if the top part is also pressed. I would assume yes. But it's very simple construction. You just have that tab that this bar catches on. But you get plenty of micro adjusts. And really nice, thin, very flexible links. Now, here's a really cool bracelet of his that I just recently picked up. And this is actually made for a watch that I don't even have. So this is what I was talking about, how sometimes his watches, his bracelets, will work with watches other than what they were designed for. This is a 20mm bracelet designed for a Speedmaster. Flat link, I just love the look of it. But what I discovered was these end links almost perfectly fit Yima, or most Yima subs. So I'll pop in a picture. I don't have my Yima here. I will pop up a picture of my Yima Quartz Heritage Vintage with this on there so you guys can see how awesome that looks. But this also kind of fits my Newmark 52, so let's take a look on that. So here we go with the flat link. Now, you know why these are cool, right? Just that shimmer effect, kind of like what you get on a Laurier. Laurier should look into this because look how nice and thin these links are. It's fantastic. But here it is on the Newmark. Now this was made for a Speedy. Fits is pretty good. It sits a little low. It doesn't fit anywhere near as good as it did on the Yima. But the spring bars do go in without any tweaking of the end links. Both snapped right in, found their holes, no problem. So I picked this up on a whim. I knew it would fit the Yima. I was hoping it might fit this, and we'll see what else it fits. But really cool bracelet. But the construction, same as what I showed you with the Jubilee. Same stamped out, same closure there, same micros. I didn't even take the plastic off of this one yet. Really cool sign clasp though. But pretty neat. I would call these like minimalist build bracelets. Now here's one of my favorite bracelets. This is the Uncle Seiko Beads of Rice. Now, these are a little different in that it's a 22 with only a 2mm taper down to 20. So something I might consider only for larger watches like the Turtle or the Samurai. Speaking of which, the cool thing about these is you can use this same bracelet with different end links across various watches. For instance, I have Samurai end links right here. Just take the same bracelet, switch out the end links, and it perfectly fits a Samurai. You can also get end links to use with the SKX for this bracelet, and those I know come in solid end links as well as hollow like I have here. Now, these come with a little bit different of a clasp, more of a traditional, it is milled out, kind of basic dive clasp with the safety fold over you see on many other things. But, you know, perfectly fine, perfectly solid. And, you know, really good looking on the Turtle. So the other bracelet I have here, this one is designed specifically for the Turtle, and this is like kind of a third yet construction for bracelets. This is the H-Link. So let's go ahead and put this on the Turtle. Now this is a killer looking bracelet for a Turtle. You'll see again, this one is hollow end links as usual. This one does have the nice 4mm taper from 22 down to 18. This one has a little bit of a different bracelet than anything we've seen yet, in that it is a single button, kind of pressed out insides here. But a single button release, I haven't had any issues with that coming across. In fact, I love the convenience and simplicity of it, like most of his bracelets. But these are nice, I would call them thicker links, but he calls it the heavy duty H link, and it does have a nice heavy duty premium feel to it. So that is it for the Uncle Seiko bracelets that I have. If you've not checked out his site, I'll put a link in the description. He's a really good guy with a really great range of products. Couple quick closing thoughts here before I let you guys go. All Uncle Seiko bracelets and straps usually come with a pair of fat bars, and unlike normal Seikos without shoulders, these have nice shoulders on them, and they are still 2.5mm, same as Seiko spring bars, but you'll see these don't have shoulders. They're very hard to remove with a spring bar tool. The other thing is, if you spend $100, I think it is, at his store, you'll usually get one of these awesome can koozies. Totally worth it. And lastly, if you've noticed, all my kind of Uncle Seiko rubber straps have this curve to them. They don't come that way, but there's a trick for doing that, and I think they wear much better on your wrist if you do this. It's an old dive watch strap trick, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how you do that here. You're going to start with your flat, unshaped strap. Now this is a Seiko silicone. This trick will not actually work on silicone, but I've already done this to all my real rubber straps. So I'm just showing you, when they come, how they're flat and usually kind of rigid. They don't want to hold any shape. So what you do is you're going to take them and make sure you have them outside facing, and you're going to kind of just ball them up into a little ball and put a rubber band around it so you get something like this. And you just put that in a coffee cup. Then you're just going to add hot water. I usually do it just off boil, just enough to cover the strap completely, and I usually let it sit about 3 minutes. Then after your 3 minutes is up, you're going to dump out the hot water. Just cover it back up with cold water and let it sit another 3 minutes. Now when you remove it from the cold water, you'll take your rubber band off, and what you'll get is a strap that is shaped. It'll hold that curvature shape, which makes it flow really nicely around your wrist. Just a trick. Some of you might have seen that before, but if not, it's worth mentioning. I don't know if I have a favorite Uncle Seiko strap, but whatever the rubber is he uses has such a great texture and feel. The Uncle Seiko waffle on a turtle is one of my all-time favorite watch looks. It really nails that vintage Seiko look, and it's so easily attainable. Let me know what you guys got, or what your favorite straps from our favorite uncle are. Before I let you go, sneaker check. Just wearing my Jordan 11s. All right, that's it. I'm out. If it's not too much trouble, like, subscribe, and come back next time. Peace.